Congratulations, Chicago Bears, 21-13 victory over Tampa. 2 down and 5 to go, if you're counting. We'll also flash back to trivia from 1993, a wild event up in Glenview, Illinois. And we'll flash back to Jim Harbaugh as a Bears player. Could he be the Bears coach one day? Only time will tell. This week, check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, this is the 25th year of the Lansing Floral Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to the Cove. They have great things, including Benkowski Trivia, Wednesday, December 3rd at 8 p.m. Half a dozen teams played last time. We can add a couple more. It's a great people, great game event. 1750 East 55th Street. If you live southwest, the one you want to try is the Dirty Sock. I'll be there alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. Great food and great drinking people. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. The T-Wax Company has money-making opportunities in the area of real estate. Buy Chicagoland properties. Profit opportunities since 1985. Call my friend Mr. Thomas at 773-456-3057. Want to make money? Call the T-Wax Company. Union Park Bar and Grill, a great place, open at 11 a.m. daily at Jackson and Racine. A huge full bar, tons of screens, great sandwiches and appetizers, great staff. They got a parking lot. Daily specials, always fun. I always have a good time at Union Park Bar and Grill. You've got to get to Amelia's Bar and Grill. They're open for lunch and dinner daily at 46th and Halsted. Limo de Cerdo, Potrero and Mar, Ceviche al Limon, Salmon al Carbone, a new cocktail menu, margaritas, martinis, sangria, and so much more at Amelia's Bar and Grill, 46th and Halsted. Lisa Davis, Insurance and Tax Services, can help you at 107th and Western, specializing in rollovers, tax recovery, tax resolution, and insurance for your business, auto, home, or life. Call them at 773-873-8977. They'll help you like they helped me. Lisa Davis Services. So the Bears do it again. It was ugly. They won by scoring 21 points in one quarter, and the Buccaneers could only muster 13. Some ballyhooed it as the battle between Trestman and Lovie Smith. I didn't see it that way. I had no real emotion for the game, but I always do pull for the Bears, and sat leisurely and watched it and screamed at my screen, particularly since Tampa seemed to have the ball all the darn time. 75 plays to the Bears' only 56 plays on offense, and yardage-wise, as Tampa tore it up between the 20s with 367 yards compared to the Bears' measly 204. But when it counted, Jay Cutler, only 130 yards passing. He did have a fumble, but no picks. And that seems to be the ultimate deciding stat for Jay. When he doesn't throw a pick, they got a great chance of winning. He was sacked about 3 times. However, the Bears defense got way after McCown, and he was sacked 5 times. Back to the offense for a moment. Matt Forte, 5 catches, 89-yard rushing, and a couple of touchdowns. So that was a solid day's work. Defensively, though, the Bears really put the clamps down late. Ryan Mundy, 8 tackles and a pick. Chris Conti had a really acrobatic tip-to-himself pick. And David Bass, a game-changing sack that forced a fumble. So the Bears really put it together on when they needed to. And again, with that amazing quarter with the 21 points, turnover after turnover after turnover, and just solid play defensively. A far cry from the 2 games where they gave up the 50-plus. So we have a little time left in the segment. Let's go to 2006. Sandy Alomar Jr. wants to get in the playoffs.
Of 99, and I saw the White Sox win the World Series last year. I missed it by a year, so like it's a wonderful opportunity to have opportunity to win and being a team that's so focused on winning, and that's big.
Well, you knew Mark Burley quite well when you were here, and he's had some struggles lately, and you have been with him a lot. What are you seeing?
Well, every pitcher go through a phase that Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, everybody go through that kind of phase that they struggle a little bit. I see a guy that is able to get it back because you showed in Kansas City he pitched great after giving up 2 runs in the first inning, and then the other day against the Angels, although he gave up 3 solo shots. I don't mind that because solo shot you're still in the game, but when you get in those long innings that quick 2 outs, and then after that we struggle with defensively and they threw the ball away. I think you have to just work with his focus a little bit. Although his pitches are fine, you just got to keep the ball a little bit low and make sure you focus on the hitter instead of trying to pick guys out.
So what do you think about this last 7 weeks? Detroit's playing just incredible ball. What about the prospect of catching them, or do you just think about the wild card instead?
No, you go out there and you play ball. You can think about where you're going to be landing, whether in the first place in this division. It's going to be tough because, you're assuming they're going to collapse and you're going to win a lot of the games. You got to make up like 8 or 9 games. But you play hard. You play to win. This division is tough. And at the end, you count your cards, and hopefully you are in either in the division or you are in a wild card. Great opportunity to win the wild card. I mean, we are up there, and the teams that we're competing are struggling. Boston is struggling a little bit, and Minnesota lost I think 2 out of 3. And I think that at the end now they have you don't want to wish them bad, but with injuries, but you want to win fair and square. But Viviano's a big piece of them, and right now he's in the DL, so. Hopefully we can take advantage of their injuries and we can win ourselves.
Well, to wrap up, Greg Walker was telling me about your team has a really huge batting average with men in scoring position. And I always think of you as getting late inning 2-out hits. That's sort of a specialty for yourself.
Well, no, I don't call myself like a 2-out specialty, but I was doing pretty good in LA with men in scoring position, and so far this year, the chances I've had starting a game, I have done pretty good with men in scoring position. We'll see what happens. It's in a situation you put in that you feel comfortable, you feel more focused, and hopefully I can, the chances I get to start can help the team.
Well, we wish for an opportunity for one of those rings.
Thank you very much. I wish to.
You too, huh? Thanks a lot. Okay, Santos. And we'll be back with more after these important messages. Stay with us.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Cornelio's Mobile Auto Glass. They come to you. You call them at 773-908-6081. Lowest prices, new and used. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They'll do your windshield, back window, or sides. They did a great job for me. They'll do a great job for you, and you'll be amazed at how quickly they come in and finish it up. Cornelio's Mobile Auto Glass.
We're back in the spotlight at Wrigley Field, and now it's time to talk sports trivia. And you're saying, what's he talking about? Well, as you know, we've been around Chicagoland in the last couple of years doing these live sports trivia shows, and it's time to take you to one we did just about 10 days ago in Glenview, Illinois. We moved to Team Chicago. Hawk Harrelson is right. For 500 points, Team Chicago, lacking crowd support, but up to 2,110 points. Okay, are you ready, Team Chicago? Olympics. We move to the Olympics. 1964, the highest boxing weight class. He won the gold at Tokyo.
Leon Spinks.
Leon Spinks is not correct. We move to Three Amigos. 1964, Joe Frazier is right. For 500, 2340, the Three Amigos with crowd support. We move to the Bulls. Are you ready? The city B.J. Armstrong was born. Detroit is correct. 2840 for the Three Amigos. Blackhawks. In the 80s, he had a 54-goal season for the Hawks. Al Secord is right. 3340 for the Three Amigos. Chicago Bears. Are you ready? The year Doug Buffon entered Louisville.
1962.
1962 is correct. 3840, Three Amigos on a scary roll. Okay, we move to the Cubs. We move to the Cubs. Pitching coach of the Cubs, 1984. Billy Connors is right. 4340. Okay, are you ready? Last no-hitter by a Cub.
Kenny Holtzman.
Kenny Holtzman is not correct. We move to the Sharks. Bert Hooton is not correct. Team Chicago. Milt Pappas is right. September of 1972. 2610, and you have the board. Are you ready? We move to White Sox. In 1992, left-handed hitters hit only .083 against this Sox pitcher. No minimums. Scott Radinsky is not correct. We move to Three Amigos. Wilson Alvarez is not correct. We move to the Sharks.
Terry Leach.
Terry Leach is not it. We were looking for Brian Draymond. Are you ready? We move to Olympics. 1972, Munich. He won the gold in the heavyweight boxing.
Bobbitt.
Dwayne Bobbitt is not correct. We move to Three Amigos.
Teofilo Stevenson, Cuba.
Teofilo Stevenson, I think, is what we were looking for, and that is correct. 500 points. Back to the Bulls. 1975. How far did the Bulls get to the playoffs?
They made it to the Western Conference Finals. They lost to Golden State.
Western Conference Final is right for 500. Blackhawks. The current Hawk coach, who's in the wine business.
Rich Preston.
Rich Preston is correct. Chicago Bears. The year Brian Piccolo died.
1970.
70 is right. Cubs. Time is up. And Three Amigos, dominant in the final round, wins with 63-40. Team Chicago, 26-10. The Sharks, 16-60. Our thanks to Sharon for some tremendous scorekeeping. The Sharks and their representative, Sandy Lord. And Harold Rice, owner-operator of the McDonald's here in Glenview, Plaza del Prado. Sandy, your thoughts on your game today?
Well, it was a terrific match. There was an ebb and flow to it. It went back and forth. I just want to say that next time we'll do better because we'll all take off 2 weeks from work to study for this instead of one.
That many teams crammed intensely. We move to second place, Team Chicago, previous winner in a televised bout. And we are talking now to Kevin Graham. Your thoughts on this very intense quiz?
It was pretty close through the first round. Three Amigos went on fire. And all the credit to these guys. That was an incredible run. All the credit to them.
Okay, Harold, you want to give them their prize? Okay, and now the team that has gone on maybe one of the greatest runs in the history of this quiz. We're talking to the Three Amigos. Howard Balgatz, your thoughts about one of the runs of all time?
We were very fortunate there at the end, and we had nice competition. They're excellent. They know a lot. And I want to thank my teammates also.
Very gracious in victory.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta. great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700.
And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget the Illinois Lottery too.
That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski.
You know you should get to the Dirty Sock on alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. when I do my trivia game. They have great food, great drink, great people at 93rd and Roberts Road. It's a fun place. I've been going there for years. So start coming out on Thursday nights at least. I'll see you at 8 o'clock. We'll have fun. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie.
Welcome to another edition of the Benkowski Sports Spotlight. Of course, we're at the Chicago Stadium. The Blackhawks and Bulls have now vacated. And of course, much different action and many different strange smells now emanating from the Palace on Madison with the circus in town for the next 2.5 weeks. But there was plenty of action here, Bulls and Blackhawk-wise, prior to the departure. Despite all that, we will open this week's show with the hottest team in town, the Bears. The pregame talk was excessive, but it was a beautiful day for the confrontation on the shores of Lake Michigan. The hitting was crisp. Jim Harbaugh was doing his usual thing. RoboCop was doing some knocking, a la Mike Ditka. And Neil Anderson was scoring touchdowns. Jim Harbaugh to Wendell Davis for this big score. Brad Muster over the top. It was 24-3 Bears, but tough to keep that edge. Jim Harbaugh sacked, fumbles. Then later, Harbaugh planned this run and was hurt, not to return. But the Lemonhead came through with the key interception. And Mark Carrier, too, big in the secondary. Despite that, Atlanta pulled it within a touchdown at 24-17. Only to have another key secondary man, Vesty Jackson, put the clamps on it in the fourth quarter.
Vesty made a great play and on a tip ball, but he made a great run after he caught it. I can't see everything from the sideline. I thought Richard Dent played his butt off. I mean, I don't know that anybody could have played much harder than Richard played for us today, and he was probably as big a factor as we had early in the game. And even with the tip pass, it was a key play, hustling from side to the field to get the screen passes. So it played very well. There were a lot of good things, but they took a lot of the running game away from us. This wasn't one of our better games, but when you can win like this, it's because somebody else has done something right. The only disappointing thing is we made some mistakes in the kicking game that have kind of been silly mistakes, and they shouldn't happen, but they happen sometimes. And we got to really go to work on that area and get back on track next week. I don't apologize for wins because we won the first half and we won the game. You know, we just didn't play very well for a stretch in the second half. And the kids are trying; they're playing hard. We certainly weren't out hit in any phase of the game by them. They weren't any more physical than we were in any way. They made some plays. I questioned the last interference call. It's a very silly call compared to a couple other ones that could have been interference early in the game, but they happen. You know, guys, they call what they see, and sometimes you don't agree with what they see, but they call it. Other than that, there's not much I can say. I'm happy about the win. He's hurting a little bit, but I don't think it's. I really don't know. It's his sternum. I know that he kind of got dinged, but it's his sternum more than anything. But we'll just see how he feels. If he doesn't feel good, then we'll go with Mike and have PT in the backup right now. But anybody we have on the team, we've always said this from day one, that we feel that they're capable of going in there and playing for us. And sometimes, it's easy for the fans not to see what's happening because, Mike isn't operating under the same conditions a lot of times as the other guy because he was in an all-out blitz. He hit a couple plays. We tried to do a couple things. We were close on one, but when you don't make them, you don't look very good. And so it probably put undue pressure on him. The interception, to me, was the best thing could have happened because it's better than a punt the way we were punting the ball. So, I don't feel bad about that at all.
Mike, do you have any kind of reaction to the way the crowd has treated Tom Zach? Or,
I don't. In life, I don't worry about even how the crowd treats me anymore. People have a prerogative to do what they want to do, and it's only natural. Sometimes, we live in a society that builds people up to tear them down. And you got to understand that. The higher you get, the farther you fall, and it's just the way things are. I didn't make the rules. This has been happening since day one in our society. You build somebody up, you make a big person out of them, and make a hero out of them, and then you try to tear them down. But it's all forgotten with a couple completions and a touchdown here or there. It'll all be forgotten. The same people booing will be cheering. So.
Mike, how do you avoid your offense stagnating after you get 2 or 3 touchdowns?
I don't worry about that. We've done it all year. We've done pretty well. We've done pretty well, really. We've won games. We're 8-1, right? That's our record. That's all that counts. The other stuff is rhetoric and bull, and I don't get involved in that. That's for you guys. So you guys are the speculators of life. And I wasn't going to do this, but I think I'm going to do it anyways. This is a very special day for me because we did win. We won the championship belt buckle.
I eat on the pasta twice just...
Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria at Grand and Racine is the place to go before United Center Pavilion, Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox too. Dine in or carry out with great family recipes, including homemade pastas, steaks, seafood, a great fun bar area. Meet people. Have a tremendous time. At Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria, Grand and Racine, you'll find a great variety of foods for you to enjoy at Salerno's.
Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie.
You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage.
Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place.
We're back on the spotlight. We're talking Cubs baseball, and I can honestly say when I'm at home watching games on TV, when I'm allowed to be a fan, there are certain players who come up with men on base against the Cubs, and you say, uh-oh, it's an uh-oh guy. And I'm pleased to talk to an uh-oh guy who's now on the right side of the equation. You've certainly, throughout your career, have been a guy who's been great with men on base, and a guy, too, not many catchers bet high in the order, and you've done that. Tell us a little bit about your hitting resume and why you're different than a lot of other catchers.
I think hitting's hard enough as it is. I just see it, hit it, hope it falls in. If it doesn't, try to get in the next time. But when I'm hitting the top of the, I've hit everywhere in the lineup, and it doesn't really matter where you hit in the lineup. But always take pitches for the big guys to go out and swing. And this lineup we have here is pretty impressive. So you want to take some pitches and let them go out and do their thing.
As far as moving around a little bit late in your career, I overheard a conversation you were just having about, spending the bulk of your career in Pittsburgh, and now to be moving a little bit late. I guess the thing is always you want to be on a contender, you want to be on a team that's going somewhere.
Definitely, I was fortunate enough last year with Oakland to get to the playoffs for the first time in my career, and it was unbelievable. Now to play here, with the history here, the fans here, the excitement going on in this team. it's something special. So when they, asked me to waive my no-trade clause and told me where they had a trade set up, it was a no-brainer. I mean, I've always loved playing here. It's always been my favorite place to play. And now the fact that I get to do it on a daily basis in front of these fans is something special to me.
Well, that's interesting because, with the bulk of night games in the Major League still and the bulk of day games here, how do you make the adjustment? Some people have trouble.
Well, one thing is Oakland played a lot of, probably the second most day games besides here in Chicago, but you learn how to take care of yourself. I mean, when you're 20, 25, you're kind of still young and you can do whatever you want to.
Late night?
Well, just anything. You don't have to maintain workouts or anything like that because you're still young and your body's still invincible, so to speak. But, I've learned how to take care of myself. I've learned how to work out the proper way, and I feel good, just as good now as I did when I was 21, body-wise. So that's all part of it. I mean, you play day games here. We played a lot of day games in Oakland, and I'm excited for it. I mean, you get to have the evenings off and go get some good dinner.
There you go. That's the positive spin. You look at a pitching staff that you, of course, faced some of these guys in the past, and how do you find yourself meshing, particularly with a guy who's known to be volatile like Carlos Zambrano?
Well, I think everybody's different. You got to learn their personalities. I've caught so many different players pitchers throughout my career. He's one of those guys. You let him go out and do his thing. He's one of the best in the game. But this whole pitching staff is something special. And the reason I say that is I just came from a pitching staff that was pretty special too, and very, very similar in the fact that everybody's different. Everybody throws different. Everybody has different personalities, and that's a good thing. And let these guys go out and do a thing. We'll get on the same page. It'll take a week or so, first time around in the catching them all. And but I think it'll be something that is both picked up on quick from my side and from their side. I've been doing it for a while, and bottom line is you don't want those guys to think. You want them to go out and pound the glove and do what they can do. Well,
that's true. I would think that this might be an accelerated time for you, maybe with a little bit of paperwork, homework in the evening, if you will, because you of course switch leagues.
Definitely get the video, the little video quarter out and watch the. But I've seen a lot of the players. The younger guys, I'll have to focus on more. But I've learned a lot of things just by getting in the box, watching their hands, watching their feet, and knowing the pitcher and what they can and can't do. And bottom line is, if a pitcher makes the pitch, whether it's the hitter's strength or not, if the pitcher makes the pitch, you're going to get him out. I mean, hitting is very, very difficult to do. The thing about the big is if you make a mistake, they're going to hit it.
What did you know about Lou Piniella before you came here, and what have you learned in the short time now?
I think everybody has heard of Lou Piniella, but he's a gamer. He played the game when it was a game, played the game hard, and he expects us to do the same thing. And if you do that, then he's going to be satisfied. The game's hard enough as it is. You're going to go through physical mistakes. You're going to make errors. You're going to strike out. You're going to pop up with runners and scoring. Those are things that are going to happen. But I mean, if you have the approach and you go out and the easiest thing to do in baseball is hustle. That's the only thing that's easy in this game. So, and he knows that.
This week's show has been brought to you by the Lansing Floral Shop.
Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero.
Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing, 708-396-1010.